14.3 starts on 523. And it's more discounts, but this is called a chain discount. This happens, and maybe you've seen this in stores or whatnot, where it will say things like, one time it might be 20% off, the next time it might be 40% off, and the next time it might be 80% off. That's an example of a chain discount, where it continues to get discounted. And it's not where you add up all the discounts and then you take it, it's each time you take it off that amount. Okay? So, it has on there a chain discount is a series of trade discounts. This is also called a series trade discount. Supplier may offer chain discounts to sell out of a discontinued item or convince you to place a large order. So this is how they're usually written. It says 35% less 20% less 15%. Okay, and what that means is it does not mean 35 plus 20 plus 15. You do not add all the percents off and then do it. Okay, that is not what it asks you to do or what's saying to do. A lot of times you may see it like this also, where you'll see 35/20/15, where they might not write the words and put the percent symbol in there. Okay, so both of those mean the same thing. They do not mean 30 plus, or 35 plus 20 plus 15.
Do you have a thing you can use to measure angles?
Protractor?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, and it talks about for this particular problem, it's got 35% discount is deducted from the list price to yield the first net, then 20% of the first net to yield the second net, and then 15% of it. So what you do is if you have something for, let's say, $100, then it's 35% off $100 first, whatever that number is. Then that number, 20% off of that number, not 100, but the new number. Then you take that, and the last number, whatever that last one is after you've done the 20%, then you take 15% off of that. So it's not where you'd add all of them together and take it off of $100. You'd take it 35% off first, then 20% off of that number, then 15% off of that number. Okay, so you do it in order. The complement method applied to trade discounts that we had yesterday can also be applied to discount or chain discounts. First, subtract each discount from 100% to find the complements. So like what we did yesterday afternoon, we can do the complement method also for this. So what's the complement of 35? 65. Then a complement of 20 is? What's the complement of 20?
80.
80. Then the complement of 15 is? 100 minus 15 is how much?
85.
Good. 85. So we can also do that. So the formula for that first one is you take the net price rate equals the product. Does anybody know what the word product means? Besides goods, what they mean in math, what it means by the product? Multiply. Right. Of the complements of the chain discounts. And then to find the net price, you take the list price multiplied by net price rate. So on number one, it says the list price of a wool suit is $400. The chain discounts are 30 less 25. Okay, so here's what they want you to do for that first one. I should let you actually write down the formulas. That might help, right? Okay, the first thing is we're going to take 400 and we're going to times it by 30%. What's 400 times 30%? 120. So you're going to take $120 off of $400, and how much is that? 280. That's number one. Then in order to get number two, because there's only two chain discounts in that, it says find the final net price. When it says 25% now, we're not taking 25% of 400, we're taking 25% of the 280. So now we're taking the 25% of the new number. So what's 280 times 0.25? 70. And then if I subtract 70 out of that, what's 280 minus 70? 210. So those are my number one and number two. Okay? So when it gives you a discount, like if you were to go buy something regular price at Shields, for instance, or something like that, a sweatshirt at Shields is anywhere from 60 to 70 bucks usually right away. Then if stuff's been clearanced, usually they mark it down to 40% first, and then maybe they got down to 80% off on some of those racks. Kohl's does that. Gordman's does that. Right, Nat? You guys have stuff over there at Gordman's that's always marked on an 80 or 90% off rack. Well, original price was this. Then they put it on another rack. When they don't sell it, then they put it on another rack, and they just keep decreasing the price. Okay? So, number three now says find the net price rate. And this is a little bit different. On this one, it says the list price for a model 36 XCL motorboat is $2,560. Chain discounts are 30% less 10% less 5%. So first thing, in order to find the net price rate, what are the complements of 30, 10, and 5? What's the complement of 30? 70. What's the complement of 10? 90. And what's the complement of 5? 95. And those are all as percents. So remember, when you have a percent, you move it 2 decimal places over. And then it said the product, which you guys told me was multiply. So what you have to do is you have to take 0.7 times 0.9 times 0.95. .5 what?
5.99.
9.
Yeah, right.
Okay. That's the net price rate. That's what that is. So I found the complements and then I just multiplied them together. Then for number 4, to finding the net price, now I multiply that by that, how much the boat was. 2,560 times 0.599 is how much money? And 44 cents. Okay? 32? That's 33 you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, just a little information about that too, just so that you guys know. When the book made this answer, they carried it out one more decimal place. So they didn't go 0.59, or they didn't go 0.599, they went 0.5985, which, Kayla, you said you rounded it up anyway. So the number is a little bit different. It's within $1. Okay, so just so that you guys know, if you're off a little bit, come test time. Okay, it might be a little bit different. That's where you might want to carry it. The further out you go with the decimal point, the more accurate you are. Okay, so just be careful with that when you're coming up with that, coming up with the solution. So on numbers 5 through 8, here's how the chart works. The chart says for number 5, office supplies, and it lists price of $780. It gives you a chain discount of 25% less 15%. So the first discount is $195. How they got that was they took 0.25 times 780. And then they took 780 minus the 195 to get the 585. Then they took 585 times 0.15 to give me the second discount. And then they took 585 minus A to give me B. So it's like what you did for number 1 and number 2. Okay, that's what you have to do for 5 through 8. Actually all the way to 9 and 10. Then 11 through 16. For the net price rate, you take the chain discounts and you multiply the complements of them together. So if you look at number 11 where it says GPS map, and it says 30% and 20%, and then there's a line. The line isn't something that you need to find. The line means that there isn't a third discount. It's just 2 of them. So what's the complement of 30%? What's the complement of 20%?
80.
So I take 0.7 times 0.8 and I get 0.56. That's what I do for part A on number 11. Then I take 0.56 and I multiply it by the list price, which was 620, and that gives me part B. Okay? So for part A, you find the complements of those chain discounts, multiply them together, that's part A. Then you multiply it by the list price, and that gives you part B. Okay? What do you think?
Easy.
On 524, 525, 1 through 16.